What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Real Reserve, where we talk about all things related to movies and physical media. The cool thing about procrastination is that when you leave a box of movies like this sitting in a corner for several weeks, by the time you get around to opening it, you've completely forgotten what you bought. So in today's video, we're gonna pop this open, see what I've got inside. Like I said, it's gonna be just as much of a surprise for me as it is for you. Before we get started, here's a quick update on the channel. At the time of filming this video, we're currently sitting at 359 subscribers. Like I've said before in previous videos, and like I'll continue to say, I think the growth that we've seen on the channel over the last couple of months is absolutely incredible. I've also seen some really cool discussions happening down in the comments about the movies that we've picked up lately, and also the movies that we like to watch in general. With that said, let's keep pushing to 400 subscribers. I'd love to hit that before the end of the year, if at all possible. If you've already chosen to subscribe, thanks so much for supporting the channel. This particular box of movies comes from a seller on Whatnot named Ja'Kiah James. I bought from this guy several different times over the last couple of months, and in my experience, he's got some really good deals on physical media. So if you're looking for some cheap movies, make sure to check him out on Whatnot. I don't earn anything by saying that, just like to give credit where credit's due. And with all that nonsense of propaganda out of the way, let's see what's inside this box. I went ahead and blacked out my address as well as the seller's address because I know we've got some weirdos out there that are gonna show up outside my front door. So first up on DVD, we've got the classic from Orson Welles, Citizen Kane. Ironically, I haven't seen this one before, even though I've seen so many people talk about how pivotal of a film this is and how groundbreaking this was for cinema. We've got a quote on the back from Danny Peary from the Guide for the Film Fanatic. Quote, "Can justifiably be called the greatest picture of all time. Countless classic moments." As I always say, we'll just have to see about that. All jokes aside, like I've said in previous videos, I've started to develop a taste for black and white films, and this seems to be a classic that I just haven't seen yet. I'm happy to pick this one up for $1 and finally get around to watching it. Next up on DVD, looks like we've got Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy. This is one that I don't really see too many people talking about, and I think it's a really underrated performance from Jim Carrey. This is a pretty dark comedy, borderlining on thriller, with Matthew Broderick in the leading role. I've seen this one several times and I enjoy it each time I've seen it, so I'm excited to finally own this one. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got the camping survival classic starring Burt Reynolds, Deliverance. This is going to be an upgrade for me as I currently only own this movie on DVD. What drew me to this copy specifically is the old school blockbuster-esque Blu-ray case. I think these are really cool for nostalgia, and they're also very good cases as well. I know there were a lot of people throughout the years that have been traumatized by several different scenes in this movie, but it's a classic nonetheless. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got The Lords of Salem, a copy that looks like it survived the 1,000-year flood. All jokes aside, I think Jay gave me this one for 50 cents or $1 because of the shape of the slipcover and the case. I've been working towards picking up all of Rob Zombie's films on Blu-ray, and I think this one puts me pretty close to having all of them. I'll have to go back and see which ones I'm still missing, but I think I only need like one or two. I don't really remember too much about The Lords of Salem in the one or two times that I've seen it, but happy to have it in the collection and give it another watch. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I'm not really a huge Pokemon fan. Of course, I've played a couple of the games throughout the years, but that's about the extent of my knowledge. I remember when this movie first came out and all of the hype surrounding it, it seemed like the movie of the year at the time. Have you seen this one before? If so, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Even though I'm not that big of a Pokemon fan, I think for $1 or $2, this is gonna make for a cool watch on a Saturday night when I don't wanna watch something too serious. Next up on Blu-ray, looks like we've got Sinister. I remember a couple years ago reading an article about a study that was done using the heart rate of participants in theaters watching different types of horror movies and using the heart rate as an indicator of what the scariest movies are. If I remember correctly, Sinister came in at #1 on that list for having the highest average heart rate of all the participants. Regardless of whether or not heart rate is a good indicator of how scary a movie is, the first time that I saw Sinister, it scared the absolute shit out of me. Some of you might be laughing at me for saying that, but there were several jump scares in this movie that got me pretty good. This is also going to be an upgrade for me from DVD. I'm excited to go back and give this one a watch and see if it scares me as bad as it did all those years ago. Next up on DVD, we've got A Haunted House. I've got several of these spoof / parody horror movies in my collection, and I think these are such a great time. They're hilarious and absolutely ridiculous. Plus, my girlfriend is a huge fan of horror spoofs such as this, so for $1, I definitely had to pick it up. Since I picked up so many movies in this live stream, the seller decided to throw in a surprise. Given that this one has a note written on it, I take it this is it. Looks like we've got Jet Li, The One. The note reads, if you don't own or haven't watched this, I highly recommend and hope you enjoyed this film as much as I did. Jakaya, I appreciate you throwing this one in. Yes, this is a movie that I have not seen before. As I've said in previous videos, I love a good old school ass whooping movie. This looks to be just that, starring Jet Li. I'll have to give this one a watch and see what it's all about. Next up on DVD, we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. If you watched my video on why I choose to collect DVD, you'll recall that I did some shit talking about the era release of this movie and how $50 was ridiculous for a crap movie that had all kinds of continuity errors. And I also said in that video that if I decided that I wanted to watch it, I'd pick up a copy for $1 or $2 over on Whatnot. Well, this is that cheap copy. Of course, I'm not knocking anyone that did pick up that era 4K release. To each their own. For me, it's just a little bit too rich. For $1, I'll throw this one on when I'm in the mood to watch something, but I don't really want to pay attention too much. Next up on DVD, we've got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. This is the movie starring Robert De Niro. Ironically, just a week or two ago, I went on Netflix and I watched Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein movie. I saw some mixed reviews on that one, but honestly, I was blown away and I really enjoyed it. I think it was beautifully shot, there was excellent sound design, and the performances were absolutely incredible from a pretty much all-star cast. This Frankenstein movie, on the other hand, I haven't seen before. I don't know if this is a good one or not. We'll have to wait and find out. If you've seen this one before and you liked it or you thought it was terrible, feel free to put that down in the comments below. Next up on DVD from Jim Carrey, we've got The Number 23, which I think is a highly underrated Jim Carrey movie. This is the first movie that I ever saw with Jim Carrey in it that wasn't just pure absurdist comedy, and I really enjoyed it. I don't remember too much about the plot, but I remember it being a very intense thriller filled with all kinds of twists and turns and a big plot twist at the end. Like I always say, I'm ready to go back and give this one another watch and see if it holds up and leaves the same impression on me that it did when I saw it all those years ago. Next up on DVD, we've got Tremors Attack Pack. This has all 4 Tremors movies, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have not seen any of these movies, but my girlfriend absolutely loves them. When she heard these come up on the live stream, she said, you better buy those. So I did. I've heard several people talk about these movies, whether it be online, on Reddit or YouTube, or people that I personally know, and for $1, I'll check it out. We're getting down to the bottom of the box, 2 more to go. We've got The Black Phone starring Ethan Hawke. Don't hit me over the head with the broomstick for saying this, but I was pretty disappointed the first time that I watched this one. I think what they did with the paranormal element really killed the horror vibes, but that could just be me. With that said, I've been meaning to go back and give this one another watch to see if maybe I just missed something or maybe the plot went right over my head. Who knows, but I'm gonna give it another chance. And last but certainly not least, I think this is one of the coolest things in this haul. We've got the Dracula Complete Legacy Collection. I believe this is the limited edition Walmart exclusive that has the glow-in-the-dark slipcover. So this includes all 6 of the original Legacy Dracula films. So of course, Dracula 1931 with Bela Lugosi, which I have 3 or 4 different copies of on various formats. I've got it on VHS, I've got multiple copies on DVD, and I think multiple copies on Blu-ray as well. In addition to that, we've got Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein from 1948. Like I said in a previous video, I'm really starting to like these old school horror movies from the 30s and the 40s, so this gives me 5 more that I haven't seen into the collection. If I take the slipcover off, I believe Walmart still sells this collection without the slip, but unless I'm completely making that up, I think that the slip is Halloween exclusive. So it looks like that's everything. Let me get this junk out of the way and we'll close this one out. In total, I've got 14 different movies in this package, 10 DVD and 4 Blu-rays. If I take a look at the receipt over on Whatnot, the subtotal was 30 bucks, so that comes out just about $2 a piece. Like I've said in previous videos, and like I'll continue to say, now is a great time to get into collecting physical media because of all the good deals you can find through various outlets, whether that be thrift stores, Whatnot, antique malls, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, you have it. I think that's enough yapping for today. So as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you on the next one. And I'm too far from the camera this time, so I can't do the lens cover, so this will just have to do. I'll see you on the next one.